Reaction to a debate: Destiny versus MAGA Patriot. Yeah, let's do it.
I'm going to try to do as best I can. But I'm not really here to win. I'm here to have a conversation. I don't even know why people keep asking me to do these debates, because I'm not really a debater. I've said this. I'm a shit poster and a troll. I'm not a serious person by nature. And to be completely honest, neither is Destiny. But and this isn't ad hominem. I think it's relevant to point out before I wrap up my opening, which is wrapping up. But there's, the videos of Destiny performing a sexual act. There's the stream of his girlfriend hooking up with a dude in the back.
I'm not doing ad hominems, but I'm going to name all these things to attack your character. That's such a bitch-made move, bro. What?
Background, and there's allegations from women, and I don't know if those are true. I don't even care if they're true. I'm only bringing this up to point out the fact that anyone under the notion that this debate is between two intellectuals that should be taken seriously should have their fucking head examined. This is entertainment.
Yeah, let me try to derail his character to make him seem like he's on the level of me, a fucking moron. But that's not an ad hominem, though. Even though Destiny has debated scholars, Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, he has done official debates live with lots of people. Like, Destiny has character issues and a sexual deviant for sure, but be fucking for real, dog. Is this your attempt to undermine his credibility? You sound like a wuss. You sound like a pussy. Skip that. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so I guess my first point has to do with the weaponization of the Department of Justice. Do we feel like the offer that was made to Eric Adams to dismiss all of his charges if he'd play ball with the Trump administration, was that like an unprecedented weaponization of the Department of Justice?
I don't really know if that reporting is accurate. Did Trump offered? Is that an official offer? Did he come out and say we offered him a deal?
So Bovey, the deputy attorney general, wrote a letter saying that they would suspend the charges against Eric Adams without prejudice, meaning they can bring them back after the election season, that they would suspend those charges with Eric Adams if he agreed to listen more to the administration has when it comes to like immigration enforcement and stuff.
Jungle Gym's Oscar Event Center and Oscar
Jungle
Station
Gyms. Perfect. YouTube. I might need to get YouTube Premium again. I'm getting so tired of these ads, bro.
Yeah, I'd have to look more into that. I don't really care enough.
Yeah, let's assume that actually happened. Would that be a really bad thing?
I would say that it's political. And
can you think of any other president or any other part in human history for the United States of America where an offer like that has ever been done so openly and blatantly before?
Yeah, when Biden pardoned like every fucking one of his friends, like right before he left office, he gave preemptive pardons to Adam Schiff. He gave preemptive pardons to his entire
the difference, and also I did not like when he did that, but the difference is there was evidence, there was an investigation currently going on of corruption charges by Eric Adams that was thrown away. So Donald Trump can do what he wants in terms of immigration in New York City. That's the difference. Actual evidence of corruption, ongoing investigation. Don't agree with preemptive pardons. Not similar at all. Come on, buddy. But cold brain, just great like
family.
Facts don't really matter.
I don't want to hear anything from your side about hooking people up as far as legal favors or maybe making sure their charges either don't go away or never manifest.
So what was the quid pro quo that was offered for him pardoning people as he leaves office? Can you give me an example of one of these?
Well, we don't know.
There is none.
Biden basically said any crimes that happen to you, you'll get away with. So
we don't. So you don't have an example then of anything else that's been like the Eric Adams stuff, where somebody's openly told somebody that they were going to temporarily take away their charges as long as they played ball with the administration.
Like again, I would have to look into that. And
if it did happen, that would be really bad, and you can't think of anything else that's equivalent to that, right?
Yes, I can think of something worse, and I just mentioned it. But
you didn't give me any examples there. You just said he pardoned all his families and Schiff and everybody else.
So you don't think that it was wrong for Biden to pardon his entire family?
Doesn't matter.
It's like he's not following the conversation. Of provable crime with evidence is different from an action implemented onto someone who has no precedent or no history of crime. The reason why Joe Biden preemptively pardoned these people because he knows that Donald Trump is going to go after them and attack them. That is just the reality. As we're seeing Donald Trump doing right now when he's going after different people like Letitia James, like was it Jack Smith, and other people that went after him at the election. Donald Trump is going to use the DOJ as a means of the weapon to go after people. Joe Biden preemptively pardoned these people because he wanted to protect them from these attacks by the Donald Trump administration. Now, if you think that's okay or not okay, that's fine. But these people have done no crime. Eric Adams is a corrupt politician. That is just provable. That's why there's an investigation going on. But okay, buddy. All right, bro. Fucking moron.
Wrong or not? I was asking if it was a quid pro quo setup like Trump tried to do with Eric Adams.
Well, I
Or is
believe
currently doing with Eric Adams.
there's no like hard evidence about this, but I believe that
There's
The
no
letter that
evidence
Lily
at
wrote was
all.
public. Right?
Okay.
If you're talking about the Trump thing, yeah.
is it illegal to
I'm not asking if it's illegal or not. I'm
Okay.
asking if you think it was a quid pro quo. If you think that there's any other part in like U.S. history where a president has weaponized his DOJ like that before.
also see the argument if, like I said, if I was to look into this and find out that there was a quid pro quo and it was for some political favor, then yeah, it would be wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you think that targeting, like writing executive orders, calling out specific law firms, has any other president in U.S. history ever done that before? Getting mad at them just because they worked with people that investigated him in the past?
Well, which executive order are you referring to?
I mean, there are numerous ones. I can look them up for you if you want. I mean, there was one calling out like Eli Cohen.
I
or whatever.
remember.
There's
Yeah,
one-
I remember that. I remember that Trump was going after law firms that were engaging in what a lot of people believe is inappropriate behavior, and putting an executive order against all firms so that behavior is stopped is within his purview.
What was the inappropriate behavior?
Like targeting people and targeting Trump, but Trump is using himself as the example. When something bad happens to Trump, he uses it as a baseline to stop it from happening to other people.
And what was the example of the inappropriate behavior?
I
that
just
these
asked.
law
I just. I don't even know. You didn't even give me the law firms, so I don't. Just like you, I don't know the executive order you're talking about.
I don't know the numbers of them, but the executive orders were focusing on law firms that had just worked with Hillary Clinton or worked with Mueller in the past.
But you're just saying words. You're just like, okay, Trump did this, and I'm like, okay, show me, and I haven't seen it.
Okay. I mean, we can read through some if you want. Would you?
Are you saying Trump didn't do this, or wait? I'm confused because he responded like he was rebuttaling against that claim, but he's also saying that it doesn't exist. So that doesn't really make sense to me.
You'd like to do, or
I mean, it's up to you, man. I'll let you continue with your line of questioning, and then I'll ask some questions of you.
do you think that Donald Trump's suing like Ann Seltzer in Iowa because he didn't like the results of the poll? Do you think that that's a good use of, I guess,
Is he
presidential?
Is he suing her? Is he suing her, or is the Department of Justice suing her?
He's suing her personally, but he is the president of the United States.
So presidents can't sue people if they're.
Can you think of a single example in U.S. history where another president has sued somebody while he's in the office of the presidency ever?
Why does there have to be?
Just asking if you can think of one.
No, but it doesn't matter. A person can sue anybody at any time as long as they feel like there is a valid claim. So I don't know. Are you saying that Trump should suspend his rights as an American citizen because he's the president?
Is that the conclusion you came out of from that line of questioning? It's so interesting how people's brains work. They're so hell bent on protecting their guy that they'll come up with the most ridiculous ways to defend them. But I think Dusty's going to talk about it. I mean, the issue here is that Donald Trump went after them just because they had a poll he didn't like. Oh, man. I mean, it's like fear-mongering if it's fear-mongering to ensure that your image is as perfect as possible, which is why he fired that one lady who put out the report of his terrible job numbers in the economy. It's like that poll favored someone that's not him. His ego couldn't handle it, so he's suing them. That's ridiculous.
I'm saying that the president of the United States suing pollsters because he doesn't like their polls is really bad.
Are you talking about the poll? Are you talking about the poll that had like a 17-point swing and no otother poll had that, where it was like there was
Doesn't matter, any
absolutely
poll, yeah.
ridiculous? Yeah, no, I think that what they engaged in was election interference by posting that poll. I believe that what they were trying to do was inflate the numbers and drive up more positivity for Kamala Harris. And
if you think it was election interference, that's what you're doing. Why would Trump do a civil case? Why would he do a criminal case?
Maybe that's the only avenue his lawyers saw fit. I don't know. I'm not on his legal team.
Okay, so
dip into Herdes chunky salsa.
A poll with incorrect numbers is election interference. Polls are estimated predictions. There's a lot of polls that have been wrong. We're saying every single poll that's been wrong should be sued. They're predictive measurements. Oh my gosh. Unless you could prove intentional fraud in terms of the calculations of the predictive measurement to intentionally help one side. I'm sure Donald Trump's side wants to argue that, as they try to argue that the election was stolen. But as we've seen with the election stolen claims that were made, no evidence, nothing they said could be proven.
Operating it. I don't think that Trump is using federal government funds to fund his legal cases. He's donating his salary, so I don't see how that could be tied to it. I think what he's doing is whatever you.
Let's be very clear. Donald Trump and his family has made an estimated $3.2 billion of profits since becoming president. So don't let this guy gaslight you.
American citizen has the right to do it.
Okay, so if Barack Obama was suing Fox News because he doesn't like some of their news coverage, you think that would be fair?
Well,
if he were doing that as his presidency?
So the reason Donald Trump is suing somebody is because he doesn't like their coverage?
Yes, he doesn't like the poll.
No, so is that what their legal team is arguing? My client doesn't like this poll, so we're suing.
Oh my God, you asshole. Like, are you being disingenuous on purpose? Fair, you know what? People like this who want you to use the very perfect way to characterize everything, you got to play their game. That wasn't the legal standing, but that is the generalized perception because there is no legal proof as of yet.
Well, of course, that's not they're going to file and argue. They're arguing that it was
so,
a rigged
so
poll.
Instead of
so Obama wouldn't say he doesn't like him. He'd say that Fox News is rigging their news coverage or something, right?
Sure. So, when you see the dishonest action that you just did was you tried to say that Donald Trump is suing somebody because he doesn't like the poll. What is the actual
that is why
lawsuit?
He's suing them. The lawsuit is claiming that there was rigging.
Opinion. Yeah. That's your opinion. Your opinion is not valid here.
The reason why I'm saying that's my opinion is because if he really felt like there was an election rigging thing going on,
he's looking for a W really bad.
Maybe he's doing both.
He's not.
Maybe he is. Investigations take time. But again, I think that what we're, just like I said in my opening statement, what you're going to try to do is try to hammer on obscure facts about Donald Trump's.
So these aren't obscure facts. They're some of the most important things. I link an executive order in the chat if you want to read it. We can go over the one for Paul Weiss. I'm not linking obscure facts. These are important. The problem is that MAGA wins arguments by never going through any of the facts because they don't know any of them.
How is this related to Donald Trump's administration being a success or a failure in the first 6 months?
Because I would argue that rewriting the rules of conduct for how the Department of Justice or how the president himself can act with regards to our legal system is corrosive to democracy in the United States. And he is rewriting it because you admitted, even if it is allowed, no other president in U.S. history has ever filed civil suits or president of the United States against other people.
Setting precedent isn't rewriting something.
What do you think precedent means? Setting precedent definitionally.
What? Setting precedent isn't rewriting something? What? What are you talking about? What is this yapping?
Rewrites the rules. You're setting precedent. You're making something.
Rewriting would be getting rid of and starting over. By Trump being the first to do something doesn't mean he's rewriting. It means he's writing. So I don't understand your argument.
Okay, fine. We can say instead of rewriting, we can say writing new rules if that makes you feel better.
It's still not new rules.
Oh my God, this guy, he's looking for a W so bad.
I understand how corrosive that is to the legal system in the United States.
Donald Trump's done a lot of first to be indicted, first to be impeached twice, first to do this.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of it is good. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, one could argue that The reason why he's got so many firsts is because a lot of the weaponization has actually been going against him. But again, can we get back to the actual
because of his own
debate?
actions.
This is the actual topic of the debate, and my topic is I believe he's weaponized the DOJ in a historic way that no one has ever done before, and I think it's corrosive to American democracy.
For this argument about Trump's civil case, do you have any evidence to suggest that him filing a civil suit, which is his right, is a weaponization of the justice system?
The vast majority of the suits that he's filed seem to be weaponization of the legal system. Look at the 2020 election suits. Basically, all of those got completely tossed because they were bogus. I mean, he's engaged in the same behavior in the past. Look at how
Trump won 22 of those cases. They filed over 60.
They filed 64 and they won 1.
Well, they won. I'm sorry. Did I say 22? It is along that 2. I believe they won 2. I believe they won Pennsylvania and Wisconsin.
They won a very small one in Pennsylvania. Maybe they won a small inconsequential one in Wisconsin, but the vast majority of them lost, and none of them were outcome determinative.
Wouldn't you agree that winning a case is setting precedent against that there was, in fact, whether small or not, some type of election impropriety?
He didn't engage in the conspiracy that there was a small amount of election fraud. He said that there was a widespread top-down attempt to rig the election against him. He tried to rig it in 2020, but he said that the Democrats did, and he couldn't find that proof. There were a couple ballots he got tossed on procedural things, I think in Pennsylvania, but nothing to change any of the votes of even any counties.
Sure.
Like wholesale.
So do you have any, like, I'm going to, obviously, I think we should go back and forth, but maybe I can ask you a couple questions so we can, like, you've had ample time to ask me. What do you think? Let's just pick one out of a hat. Do you believe that the
Wix gives you the
make his money. So I did watch that portion. Then so I was already like in there. Sorry, I'm like focusing on this and then playing Madden at the same time. So he wants to revisit, he wants to engage in his talking point. So that's why he keeps on trying to reroute the conversation to a very particular thing. Everything else he said was kind of minor and very low effort debate tactics to undermine the things that he has done because you can't argue against it. But it is what it is.
GDP growth and inflation being down to 2.1% is a success or a failure for
I think inflation is going up now. I thought the last number was 2.7. Just as a real quick thing, I guess, but we can move on to this point if you want. So you acknowledge then that for all of the civil suits and for the utilization of the DOJ, no president in U.S. history has used it this way. Now, maybe you think it's a good thing, but it's novel. Trump is the first one to weaponize the DOJ and to weaponize civil cases like this while in office compared to any other president in U.S. history.
I would have to look it up, but if I will take your word for it. If no other presidents have done it, then that would mean he's the first to do it. I don't think that that's rewriting, abusing, or doing any type of weaponization of the justice system. I think that he's a citizen of this country, and if he feels like he has a lawsuit that he can file against somebody, he can. I don't see how, as long as he's doing.
So imagine you do terrible acts in the means to kind of retain power, and then the people who are trying to go after you because you're kind of breaking the law or doing terrible things, your rebuttal against that is attacking them. That's your rebuttal to ensure that people are not able to go against you when you do all those terrible things, like falsifying business records, like the stuff with Stormy Daniels, like the election fraud stuff, the false slate of electors stuff. Like, we can keep on going. But these people, the people who are going against the guy who's doing the illegal things, they're the problem. Yeah, that's backwards logic. When you do something that deserves to be, attacked, and then you attack the people who go after you for doing things that are illegal, I mean, you understand why it is what it is, right?
He gets civilly on his own with his own money and his own lawyers. I can't make that argument. I don't see how anyone can make an argument.
I mean, it's really easy. It's very obvious that the president of the United States suing you in a civil case is putting a ton of pressure on you, and it's probably a really bad thing.
And again,
the president suing you, like when he sues ABC and they're looking at mergers, right, for their parent companies, it's probably not good to have the president individually suing you. He's the one making the final call on whether or not.
Especially when I believe in some of the law firm cases that there are certain privileges that they could not do because Donald Trump was the president. So it's the lawsuit in combination with like allowing the president having certain powers over him. I'll look that up in a second after I get this first down. First down. Let's go. Madden 26. Pretty good.
Well, the Biden administration, I believe, sued. I want to say they sued Newsmax. Was it Newsmax or Fox News? They said the Biden administration had sued news organizations. I think a lot of administrations have sued news organizations.
No,
Again,
that's not true. No, that never happened. That's just not true.
Okay, sure. We could let's not do the look up everything.
Sure, that's fine.
Thing. We'll just
Well, here,
remove
before we jump off, because we can do next topic next, like that Fox News settlement on the Dominion thing, that was just a huge lie from top to bottom, from the Trump campaign to Fox News hosts. There's never ever in the left leaning media been a case.
So his executive orders against law firms, blah blah blah. That is one blah blah blah. In February and March, President has begun a fury of executive orders against law firms he deemed as dishonest and engaging in litigation conduct he declared was detrimental to American interests. Has targeted 5 law firms, moving to terminate federal government contracts with them. So it's not just, oh, he's suing them. He's using his federal authority against these locations too. And obviously he's using the DOJ against other people. And so let's not make it, oh, he's just an individual. Nope, that's not it. That's not it at all. Oh, oops. Freaking.
Caught. And look, I'm not gonna. I think after 5 years, I'm done with it. So I've moved on. But
How do you move on? Do you acknowledge that he lost in 2020 then?
I think that there was election interference. Yeah.
Even though no evidence was brought, he lost basically every single suit. Nobody agrees that there was no point. Like Fox admitted they lied about all the Dominion stuff.
Well, actually, the vast majority of those cases were thrown out on standing. So it's not like they actually argued the facts of the cases and put them in front of
facts
the
of the cases are considered when you're considering standing for a case. It's not the judge's fault that the people were bringing up the fact that they wanted to throw out every single ballot as a result of
like right up the street from me in the 2020 election. A woman was arrested for having like 5,000 ballots. There was election fraud. For election, I mean, I think that even the Democrats will acknowledge that election fraud does happen. So to dismiss people who have a claim, whether or not it's true or not.
No one is talking about individual claims of election fraud. Donald Trump said there was a.
He's about to say Donald Trump said there's a top-down intentional act to prevent Donald Trump from becoming president. In terms of election fraud, that's like 1%. 1% of it happens. To use that as a means to enforce your case is a fucking stupid thing to do. Using 1% of the population to prove your claim? Are you a fucking idiot? Like, I hate when people do that. Oh, this minute situation that happens 1% of the time. That 1% means that I'm correct. The fuck out of here, boy.
Top-down plan by the Democratic Party to rig the election. Doesn't seem like that ever materialized anywhere.
I think that a lot of that comes from the pipes bursting and people pulling out boxes and all that stuff.
All of that was fake. They lied about all of that. They lied about all of that.
It was on video. I mean, what about them covering? They were covering up the windows at the polling station.
So like on the pipes bursting and the boxes under the table, it was on video, but they cut the part where the boxes that were pulled out from under the table were just put there under the table from the lady.
You have the truck drivers admitting that they were taking ballots from state to state. There was a lot of stuff.
And why did none of it pan out in court? Notice I don't know the specifics on any of this. Like I've listened to a lot of these cases. I can show you. We can watch the full videos right now in Georgia if you want over those ballot boxes secured under the table. Like none of this is true. You've just been lied to because you consume conservative media without questioning it.
Sure. Yeah.
Twitter headlines, man.
I think. Look, I think that we should move on because relitigating the 2020 election doesn't have anything to do with Trump's success in the first 6 months. So
okay.
I think
you say you'd moved on from it, but you still don't even believe in the results of the election, which I would say is like immediately disqualifying from having any opinion about U.S. politics, but including for the president of the United States. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's focus on Trump's second term since that was the debate proposition.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So again, all right. So we went through the GDP growth and the inflation. Now, how do you feel about the border?
I don't think Destiny ever got a chance to respond to that because
he said inflation's going up, and
I think inflation right now is at 2.7%. I think was the last number I saw.
What was the average of inflation during the Biden administration?
I don't know. Probably quite high post-COVID, I would imagine.
So it's gone down then from the Biden administration. Let's go with 6 months. So what was it in January, and what is it now?
I can look it up.
What was it after COVID? Yo, these people are not real. What was the inflation number after COVID? Like directly after COVID? Give me a break.
That would be the metric to how I would measure a success.
No matter how much Trump messes things up, it's going to be better than post-COVID, right? Post-COVID, the entire world was experiencing inflation.
Let's not do post-COVID. Let's do from the first 6 months. When he entered office on January 20th, what was inflation? I mean, I'll look that up right now.
Post-COVID, you fucking moron. Post-COVID. Biden became president post-COVID. Jesus. Like, oh my God. Okay, buddy.
If inflation was higher than 2.7% on January,
I'll let this
20th,
guy get a
would you
first
agree that
down
that
because
means
he's a
inflation is
fucking
down?
idiot. Jesus.
Well,
Christ.
definitionally so, sure.
Okay, so if inflation is down in his first 6 months, wouldn't you also categorize that as a
So
success?
inflation, I just looked this up. Inflation is down by a very small amount. It used to be 6 months ago was 2.9%.
Sure.
Now it's 2.7%. So
All right, so down is down. So that's I would say that that's a win, right? I mean, and again, we're measuring something that does move up and down, and I mean, I wouldn't say that.
Bro, 0.2%. It was already going down because of Biden. Oh, yeah. These people aren't real. These people are not real, bro. It was already going down. Oh, down is down. Donald Trump must be super successful because they went down. Oh my God. You give me a break.
Really hold you to that.
Give
That's just one,
me
just
a
one
break.
point. GDP hitting 3%.
Style and substance. In the GMC Sierra.
I think is also up from 6 months ago.
I mean, we had our first quarter was a GDP contraction, which is completely and totally insane given the economy that he inherited. I don't know why we would ever consider GDP growth a success right now with the first quarter was contraction.
You think that Donald Trump inherited a good economy?
Yes, of course.
How?
Yes.
Why? Because inflation had been basically brought down from all the COVID stuff because we had a ton of major legislative packages in place that was stimulating the economy, things like the CHIPS Act, things that he's trying to take credit for now, things like the Inflation Reduction, the IRA, the Inflation Reduction Act, which was like a ton of investment in infrastructure, things like the American Rescue Plan, which were budgets between every single state and gave them big bailouts. Yeah.
So, all right, here, this is what I have a hard time wrapping my head around the argument that COVID lasted 4 years, right? The effects of COVID lasted 4 years or even 3 years. I mean, Biden had inflation at 9%. And I want to say that was June of 2019. Oh, no. Yeah. Was it? It might have been. I think it was 19, and I could be wrong, but it was at 9%, somewhere in the middle.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around the timeline. In June of 2019, Biden had inflation.
I want to say it was June of 19. It might have been 20.
Okay.
I'm
you
sorry.
Understand that Donald Trump was president for both of those years, right?
I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. I'm really an idiot. I swear to God, dude. This is why I shouldn't do shit off of memory. 22, not 19. I think it was 22. I don't know why I was saying 19, but June of 2022. If you can you want to look that up. I think that was June of 22, not 19. But either way, inflation was at 9% under the Biden administration, and I think it was about basically 2 years after we already reopened the country. So I don't see how COVID is responsible for 9% inflation years after COVID was essentially already dealt with. And then
we shut down the whole global economy, shut down for 6 months. You don't think that? Do you think that all the other countries that were experiencing inflation, do you think all those other countries were because of Biden, or?
I don't think that I think that a lot of them had better numbers than we did.
No, the United States came out on top.
No,
in 2022, was there another big global event that also might have caused some?
Like these people, they live in a different reality that is not factual. The United States was performing better than every country when it comes to the economy. It's I'm just curious to just enter the MAGA social bubble, to just go in there and go like, so this is what it looks like. Wait, vaccine kills people? Oh, damn. Immigrants are murderers? Oh, shit. The election was stolen? Donald Trump is the second coming of Jesus Christ? I think that's what it would look like. I'm dead ass. I think that's what a MAGA bubble would legit look like. Just a bunch of bullshit the entire time.
Inflation happened, especially related to food, related to Ukraine and Russia. Didn't a war start there as well?
Okay, so again, so you're saying that Biden gave Donald Trump a good economy while simultaneously saying that during the Biden administration, inflation went up for whatever reason. You can make excuses for it, but Biden gave Trump a good economy after.
Make excuses for COVID? Kill me. Yo, kill me. I'm dead.
Under Biden, the economy was bad.
I don't know if I would say the economy was necessarily bad. We had a lot of inflation, but the inflation was a byproduct of a lot of the government spending and a lot of the stuff that we had to do to keep everything kind of afloat, so that people weren't really losing their homes and on the street starving during COVID, right?
So then let's so I guess let's blame COVID. But if we
hold on, wait, you acknowledge there's a lot of government spending that we needed to do under COVID?
Yeah, I think that we did a lot of government spending under COVID.
Okay, and you acknowledge that, like, for the most part, we came out of COVID pretty decently, right? People weren't all on the street starving to death. Like, everybody had food. Like, people are doing work from home, made out. Okay, right.
A lot of the COVID response, a lot of the initial COVID response is the reason for that. Like, Operation Warp Speed and Donald Trump cutting red tape and bureaucracy so that we didn't have.
Yeah, it's all Donald Trump's fault. All the good stuff that happened after COVID is Donald Trump. All the bad stuff that happened during COVID is Joe Biden. These people are not real, bro. I swear to God. Yeah, look at Destiny's face. I think this perfectly encapsulates. These people are not real, dog. Oh man. Not again.
Pandemic, blown out way past it when it should have been.
So I think the huge part of that was probably the American Rescue Plan. I think it was a massive stimulus that helped. That was a Biden tier thing. But like, this stuff is probably going to contribute to inflation as well as supply chain shocks as well, right? The rest of the world experiences as well, right? How can we say that it was Biden that caused all of the inflation when the rest of the world was also having these issues?
Okay, so here's where my side gets a little hazy with all right. So everything Obama did, Obama gave Trump a good economy.
Mm-hmm.
Trump fucked it up for Biden, but then it was actually COVID, and then Biden gave Trump a good economy. You see how, like, there's never any accountability for the things that happen under your administrations. Like, the bad things that happen under your administrations are the previous administration's fault. If it's
maybe I don't know. I don't know. Work with me here. Maybe it's because your guy fucking sucks. Oh, like, maybe that's what happened. Maybe both Obama and Joe Biden inherited terrible economic situations because of COVID and what was it? It was like a crash. Housing crash. It's like some type of crash. I wasn't alive during Obama period, so I don't have as good of knowledge regarding what happened during Obama. But they both inherited terrible situations. They improved the economy drastically. Donald Trump got the economy, and then, Donald Trump's the first half, he benefited greatly and spent so much fucking money. And then the second half, COVID happened, and then he fucking was doing a bunch of bullshit, but, spending a lot of money during COVID. And then the economy was improving under Joe Biden. All the metrics say so. And then Donald Trump comes in, inherits it, and then does a bunch of bullshit and is ruining the economy right now. So, I mean, we're just going back to actions. We're picking out specific actions on what Donald Trump does. He spends a lot of money. He cuts taxes for the rich. He does a lot of things that do not help the economy. I hope we're clear on this.
If it's a different person, if it's Trump or
rather than just going off of heuristics, we could look at factually what actually happened. Was there a massive worldwide financial event that happened right before Obama came into office?
Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. You're always going to find a reason to blame something else other than your own leader.
Yo, these people are not real. I bet if a meteor hit the world, they would still blame Joe Biden. I bet if the meteor destroyed like 80% of humanity, they would still say it's Joe Biden's fault. It's not better. That is my guess.
Your shit.
So what happened before Bush when Bush came into office? What did Clinton mess up?
All I'm saying, let's simplify this. All I'm saying is Trump's numbers go down. You credit.
No, let's not simplify. Let's talk about the facts. Let's actually talk about the factual matters of what happened, right?
Are there any other reasons why the economy has come down? Why inflation has come down over the past 6 months, other than Biden gave Trump a good economy?
Where's the best place to get the best fruits and veggies? Jungle Jim's International Market, of course. We've got fresh produce from all over the world.
Well, no, I don't think that had much to do with it. I think the reason why inflation is down is probably because the Federal Reserve is stuck to their guns and keeping the rates up. Although Trump is trying to undo that and has been desperately trying to undo that as well. He was trying to do it at the end of his last administration. He's trying to undo it now.
Inflation might even come down even lower.
Inflation is still above target, right? Target is 2% and still above target, right?
Yeah. All right. So under Donald Trump's
inflation is above target. The Fed is trying to keep inflation down, and Donald Trump wants to undo what the Fed is doing, right? You acknowledge that, right?
Under Donald Trump's first term, inflation never hit 3%, right?
Okay.
It never even touched it.
True.
This
Do you
whole
acknowledge
term.
Donald Trump was fighting with the Federal Reserve to lower rates under his thing as well? That he
I'm
also
just
didn't like the
saying-
high rates then?
I'm just saying, I don't understand. You guys just don't see pattern recognition. Like, you don't understand, like, Donald Trump's first term, inflation was down pretty much the whole time, right? And then he comes in and inflation starts going down, and you give credit for his whole first term.
No.
These people don't understand context. They don't understand factual scenarios that attribute to the current result. They just think, oh, that guy's president, so everything that is good must be because of that guy. 1 + 1 = 2. That must be it. I'm a fucking moron, MAGA moron. Like, come on, bro. If you could tell me exactly what he's doing, then let's talk. But when it comes down to it, a lot of the situations that we're talking about, Donald Trump didn't do anything inherently to cause or help the economy in his circumstances. And then when we're kind of giving you context in terms of acts and bills that Joe Biden is doing and situations and context of why inflation was so high, the response to that is, well, who cares? It's just COVID. Like, give me a break.
Well, inflation has been going down since 2022. You think inflation was high and then it just started going down under Trump?
Yeah, it went down from 9%. And you talk about this whole war.
Wait, do you think inflation was at 9% in 2023 and in 2024?
No, I think it was in 2022. Like I said,
Yes, and it was coming down.
I the numbers the first
That's
time.
fine, but it was coming down under Biden in 2023 and in 2024. It continued to come down in 2025, right?
It also went up under Biden. It went up all the way from
COVID
7.9 to fucking 9, right? So you can
Because
blame,
of-
you can
yeah.
blame that on the Russia-Ukraine war, but the Russia-Ukraine war probably wouldn't have even happened if Trump was in office.
Why?
I mean,
What would Trump have done to
Oh
stop it?
my
He said he has zero
Hey,
ability to stop anything.
You know what Putin didn't do under Trump's first term? Invade fucking Ukraine. You know what he did under Biden and Obama? Invade fucking Ukraine.
You understand that in
Leadership
Trump's
matters.
first term, there were literally active fights happening in Ukraine with Russian troops. That was literally happening in the Donbass under Trump the entire time. Nothing changed.
Yeah, there's conflict going on over there, but that wasn't a war. That wasn't an invasion.
It literally was an invasion. They had, like, Donetsk and Luhansk had been invaded. There's been a war there for like since 2014 that Russia has been funding and sending troops into for. Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, let's
Notice how when Donald Trump's president now, notice how he hasn't done anything to stop the fighting, despite him saying he'd end the war on day one.
Okay, well, let's go.
That's like a failure, right? That he said he'd end it on day one, and he hasn't gotten any closer to ending it, right?
Well,
In
I think most people took that as hyperbole, and
hyperbole for what? So from day one to day infinity?
Did you guys really think that on January 21st the war was going to be over?
Why would Donald Trump lie?
It's not a lie. It's called hyperbole. It's just inflate. It's what Donald Trump does this all.
Okay,
the
what
time.
was he
So, oh my goodness, I hate MAGA so much. They like everything he says that they think is good, they keep it, but everything else they just throw it off. Oh, he's lying, he's being hyperbolic. Come on, bro.
Yes, he
Come
was.
on, man.
I agree.
Are you going to take that literally? Were you really under the notion that Donald Trump was saying, I'm going to come in on January 20th, and by January 21st, everybody in the world is going to stop fighting? That's retarded, man. Like, don't even.
Okay, wait, then why was he not being hyperbolic when he was saying Putin wouldn't have started this war if I was president for another 4 years?
Well, because the evidence shows that Putin didn't start fucking wars when he was in office. Putin does not want to go and start a war while Trump has all the cards, but he started a war because
What
Biden was a
cards?
weak, feckless leader, and Putin knew he.
What cards? What exactly? Like, I hate when people do this. They go like, "Oh yeah, Trump would have prevented it. Had no evidence, no proof." And then we ask them, "What exactly would he do?" They have no idea. They can't say it. Even Trump can't say what he would do because the result of what he would do is I would allow Ukraine to get taken over. Other than that, Putin was going to do what he was going to do regardless, which is why every time Trump threatens him, Putin just keeps doing what he's doing.
He could get away with it.
Okay, no one else in the world views Trump that way. Everybody knows that Trump is weak and feckless. That's why Putin has continued to bump. That's why
the 77 million people that voted for him. They think
the rest of the world. Do you remember when Trump was truthing out how upset that he was that Putin continued to bomb Ukraine after every time they'd have a talk? Why do you think he was truthing that out?
Trump is tough on Putin, but he's also
do you acknowledge that he truthed out that he was crying that Putin was still attacking Ukraine after they'd had meetings?
Yeah, but this is what I don't understand. Where it's like Trump is a Putin puppet, but he's also critical and tough on Putin.
Misfit.
He's
People
not
on the
tough
left don't really argue that anymore. That was like ages ago.
Well, hold on. How has he been tough on Putin?
He just gave, I don't know, I think we're almost at the deadline. He gave Putin 10 days or something like that to come to the table and make a deal. They're sitting down right now.
How many times has he done this already? Like 5 or 10 times?
Bro, I don't do it.
Hey, I just saw the meeting with the deal that Trump had with Putin. Nothing happened. No deal was made. Nothing. Not at all. Nothing. So that deadline meant nothing. Just more facts for people.
Like, I mean, do you really think that Biden had, how many years did this war go on under Joe Biden and he didn't end it? So, I mean, are you saying that wars can just end, like, if the American president says so?
That's what Donald Trump said, didn't he?
No, but I'm saying, like, are you making that argument?
No,
right?
I'd never be as stupid to make that argument. But Donald Trump did make that argument, which is why I'm saying it's a failure that he didn't end it. He said he would end Israel-Palestine on day one. He said he would end Ukraine-Russia on day one. He's no close to ending either one.
So he's negotiated in the conflicts of Azerbaijan and Armenia, though that war ended, right?
Wars start and end. There was like a mini genocide there. So I don't know how that's a pro for him.
Again, right? We don't give Trump credit when he does negotiate a war, but we criticize.
Yeah, the only ones that he was involved. Now they're going to try to give him full credit, but he was involved. That by default, I guess you would have to give him credit for, even though I hate giving Trump credit. But I'll never lie to just prove a point. Is like the Armenian one. It ended, and I think the United States. I'll look this up in a second. Was involved, and then India, Pakistan. Other than that, nothing else. I know this is going to be the new MAGA talking point. Look at all the wars he ended.
That he can't end all wars with a phone call, right? It's like, I mean,
he's the one who said he was going to end it on day one. He didn't. That's a failure.
Again, if you are taking that literally,
I do take my president literally and seriously. Yes, I think you should.
Yeah,
Otherwise, the word of the U.S. president means nothing. Yeah.
So you literally thought that he was saying, "I'm going to end the war on day one."
Yes, that's what he said, and that is what he meant. He said it over and over and over again. Yeah.
I think you're a simpleton if you believe that.
Okay.
Right? Like,
Maybe
I think
President Trump shouldn't make those promises then.
I think everyone on the right understood that he meant very quickly.
Oh,
right?
Very quickly. So if it's not over by midterms, would you acknowledge that he's failed there? What does very quickly mean?
I think that if it's not over by the midterms, I will agree with you. That is a failure. He should be able to end it by then. But you know what? It's like, this war is very profitable for both sides, and Putin doesn't give a shit about his citizens. He is throwing dead bodies at this thing. Zelensky wants this war to continue because
I don't think either side is profiting from this war. No, I think.
Oh, come on! The military-industrial complex gets rich and lines the pockets of both sides, and don't even.
The military-industrial complex is a small part of the economy, depending upon which countries you're talking about. I don't think you think that Ukraine is better off economically than they were before the war.
I'm talking about corruption, right? There is an incentive for war. It is why they happen. A lot, except for the one in Israel, which is a spiritual war, which is like a holy war. Most wars.
All right, let's look at this real quick. Oh my goodness, I did not just realize I was at 4th and goal and I went for it and I didn't even realize that. Man, that's what I'm trolling, man. So Trump and the leaders signed a peace agreement at the White House that ends a decades-long war between two former Soviet republics. Blah, blah, blah. Helped praise the two-term. At one point said Trump deserved the Nobel Peace Prize for his efforts. Beside Trump route for national peace, a 20-mile multi-modal transit corridor through the South Caucasus. Two countries will have exclusive development rights along it. Armenia and Azerbaijan have been at odds since the late 1980s. When independence, this great deal we achieved today. It's a successful world became region means a safer world. He was lifting restrictions on defense cooperation between 35 years. I fought a bitter conflict that resulted in tremendous suffering. Suffered gravely from the Russians worked very hard on it. Officials quietly worked from us to secure agreement. Worked for many years. Okay. So, I mean, on the surface, without knowing the details, I mean, this conflict did end. The Strait thing is interesting. I'm curious on the details on what made it happen, but you have to give him credit. I think one thing you can say is that he is hard on nations, much harder on nations than like Democrats are. So, and there's more of a fear because Donald Trump is so unhinged. So I think you probably would have to give him credit. Oh man, it hurts, but you would have to give him credit for that, I guess.
They continue this long because somebody's making money.
Going, Gone by Dick's Sporting Goods is serving the looks you need for life.
I just don't know enough details to talk about it in depth on like exactly what happened in that deal.
Wars haven't even been going on for that long. If you're going by the invasion point as a starting point, it's been a few years.
Okay, so you're agreeing that 6 months is not that long of a time to try and end a war.
I'm not the one who claimed I would end it on day one.
Again, hyperbole, but okay.
I feel like
Let's
I
move
want
on.
to get back to guys. I want to get back to economics because I feel like that hasn't been fleshed out. So just Misfit, you did make a point that inflation went a bit down in the last 6 months, which is true.
Yeah.
Also, jobs did go down. So in December, there was 250K jobs created. It's still in July, I believe it was 70K. So you both have like a little bit of I don't know, different metrics. So I want to see you guys discuss that.
Let's talk about jobs, okay? And thank you for helping us move on from that because it was getting ridiculous. The U.S. has gained 10,000 manufacturing jobs in Trump's first full month in office, right? After losing.
Yeah, the tough thing is like me and Destiny, we both understand that Donald Trump is a fascist. We understand that this guy is not a good person and he does not have the best interest of the United States. However, it's impossible to go at it where you say 100% of the stuff he does is terrible. It's impossible to kind of think like that. So there has to be sometimes you have to just like give it an edge and you have to give it like, okay, sure, here. So that's the unfortunate things when you deal with people who are like terrible people. You have to give them, when they do something good, you have to give them a little edge, not give them the world of credit like Jink wants to, but give them a little golf clap, man.
An average of 9,000 manufacturing jobs per month in the final year of the Biden administration. The creation of 671,000 new jobs, which is attributed to extending the TCJA and making sure that all those jobs weren't going to be lost. There's
what is the yapping about?
1,000 new jobs, which is in Trump's first full month in office, right? After losing an average of 9,000 manufacturing jobs per month in the final year of the Biden administration. The creation of 671,000 new jobs, which is attributed to extending the TCJA and making sure that all those jobs weren't going to be lost. There's I'm looking through my little notes here. But I think that with those two alone, right? Would you say that Trump has successfully created more jobs in the first 6 months than Biden? I guess because that's the comparison.
Almost certainly not, but that's not really a fair comparison for you. You're always going to lose there because coming out of the
COVID. COVID.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Biden's going to slaughter Trump on any job related stuff.
Well, then that wouldn't be attributed to Biden. Okay, well, so
you recognize I'm being fair there, right? Because I'm saying that inflation was high as a result of COVID. So like, I'm not going to say that that's Biden's fault, but I'd also say like massive growths in jobs after the recovery. I'm not going to say like, oh my God, you created tens of millions of jobs. That's also like recovery from the recession. So I'm being fair on both sides of that, right? I'm not just trying to claim victory on one and not the other, like you just tried to do by saying that we can't give him credit for the job stuff, but we can blame him for the inflation, right?
Would you say creating 671,000 new jobs through a mixture of tariffs, GDP, and the TCJA is a success or a failure?
I don't think that any of those three things create more jobs in the United States.
The economic impact from the extensions, the tariffs, and the numbers are real. So the 671,000.
He's just trying to combine a bunch of factors to prove his claim, and a lot of them are just not correlated to creating jobs. The whole things with tariffs is actually losing jobs because a lot of businesses can't afford the tariffs that they are trying to, import in terms of goods they're importing for their business, which is not helping job creation at all. So I don't know how he's going to make that. I don't know what he means by TCJ. I might look that up.
1,000 new jobs that have been created, which most economists are contributing to those three factors, right? Would you say
how do tariffs create jobs? Can you explain that to me?
Well, they've brought in about $100 billion in revenue. So
that's just a tax on the un-American manufacturers. Yeah, I understand that.
It's not a tax. There is no.
It is a tax. What economist is he referring to? I wish sometimes I really want.
Tariff is an import tax, right?
It's not a tax on the American, right? An American doesn't pay a tariff. You're saying
who pays a tariff?
You're saying that it trickles down to the American because
no, I'm not saying it trickles down. I'm saying literally it's an import tax. That's a tariff. What's there a tariff and an import tax?
Hold on. you're saying that the American citizen gets a tariff tax, right? Like it says tariff tax, or are you saying that we pay?
Yeah, like if you've ever imported something before, it's on the bill as an import tax. Literally, legitimately what it is. Yes.
I'm talking about consumers. I'm talking about.
Well, consumer might not necessarily see import taxes on shipping things in, but it'll be the manufacturer. It'll be the American manufacturer that sees it. Yeah.
If this guy keeps on playing this stupid fucking game, he doesn't. He understands that when a good is imported, when a tariff is implemented, that business passes down that increase in expense to the consumers. The consumers don't literally get a receipt that says import tax. Like, stop being a fucking moron. Like, come on, bro.
American manufacturing companies would have to pay a tariff. Yes, I agree there. So we were talking about two different things. On the average American, though, we're not paying the tariffs, so we're not paying taxes on those. But a lot of people make this false claim, like, oh, it's a tax that's rolled over onto the consumer. That's what I thought you were referring to.
It is.
Well, I mean, American manufacturers are still Americans, right?
Yes, the manufacturing companies, if they want to continue to do business, but they also don't have to pay the taxes if they just don't do business there. They can do business other places.
That's fine,
So
but you said that. I'm just saying that we say that we've made $100 billion in tariff or whatever. That's just a tax increase on local businesses. That's all that is.
I'm just quoting from the which source is this? I believe this is from I think this is from The Hill, I believe.
Are you talking about Trump's first or second term, just to clarify?
First term. The TCJA, I think this is from The Hill. The TCJA extension and tariffs contribute to reported economic growth. Then they cite 3% GDP, 671,000 jobs through tariffs. Though they do say tariffs do risk higher consumer prices. So that's why I was getting confused, because I was conflating what you were saying with what my notes are saying.
So the Trump tax cuts might lead to some more economic activity. You'd expect it to, right? It's just a kind of deficit spending by the government. So that's of course going to be greater economic activity. But the tariffs are a tax on imports. So that's just money that American citizens are paying to the government.
Yeah.
What is he looking at? So I found this by The Hill involving the TCJA. Trying to, because I don't really know exactly what he's looking at. But this is a 2017 tax law. Well, to be fair, the current tax law is the same tax law as his first administration. TCJA, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. So what is his claim? Let me try to hear it.
I was getting confused because I was conflating what you were saying with what my notes are saying.
So the Trump tax cuts might lead to some more economic activity. You'd expect it to, right? It's just it's a kind of deficit spending by the government. So that's of course going to be greater economic activity. But the tariffs are a tax on imports. So that's just money that American citizens are paying to the government.
Yeah, only if they continue to do business with people that are ripping off America.
It's money that they're paying to. Shut the fuck up. Stop with the only if they're going to. Yes, they're going to keep on doing that. They may switch, but right now they're not going to if they've been doing business with them. All this qualification, like these people are so, oh man, I can't.
Also, they can also not pay that tax.
They could, but they paid $100 billion of it, according to you. That's an import tax, yes.
But they're choosing to pay that tax.
That's fine. That's great that they're choosing. I'm just saying it is a tax. It's an import tax, yes.
Yeah. So it's not like when the federal government forces you to pay taxes on something, like they just raise your taxes, right? It's like that's where I think that there's a lot of confusion. Maybe not with you and me.
There's no confusion. You're just trying to make it sound better than it actually
just choose to work less. We don't have to pay as much income taxes now.
Sure, exactly. Yeah, no. It's definitely going to hurt companies that want to do business with countries that are taking advantage of us.
Oh, this guy is such a fucking tool, bro. So basically his argument is, well, it's not a big deal because they could choose not to use those companies. Honestly, it's their fault. So it's actually not a big deal because they're still working with those companies international, even though they've been working for them so long. So I know people said that it increases prices in consumer. It might increase prices on the consumer, but it's not Donald Trump's fault for increasing these tariffs that affect these businesses. It's the businesses' fault for not changing. So he's putting all the blame in businesses to make it seem like Donald Trump is not the reason why these increase of prices are affecting consumers. Very based. I see a little cream in his mouth from Donald Trump. Very base.
Well,
That's
with any countries that we import anything from, right?
if those countries are, like China and other countries who let's use the leftist
It's
talking
every
point.
country around the world, isn't it? Right now we have global tariffs.
Countries who are not paying their fair share.
There under the pecan tree, as she did countless.
That doesn't mean paying their fair share for what? For exporting stuff to us?
Yeah, I mean, well, they've been taking advantage of us and charging us these ridiculous tariffs. All Trump
They
has
haven't
done
been charging us tariffs. That's not true. That's not where
well,
any of those
they've
came
had
from.
all Trump has done with his tariff plan is go reciprocal, and
He hasn't though, but that's just
most
a
of
total
it's
lie,
not. Most
right?
of it's not even reciprocal.
How does that make that doesn't make sense? Like in the UK, there are countries we have trade like surpluses with, and we still put tariffs on them. So how do you explain that as being a reciprocal tariff?
He did the same thing to Israel too, because he's just going across the board. Right?
So across the board, so they're not reciprocal. These are just none of these tariffs are reciprocal, right?
The tariffs which are estimated to have brought in.
Hold on, wait. Let's see if we can agree on this one point. None of these tariffs are reciprocal, right? You can choose a single country if you want. We can look it up. There's none of these countries had tariffs on us that were reciprocating what we are putting on them now. None of these, not a single one was.
I would have to. I mean, he's got 30 to 54% on China, Canada 35%, Mexico 25%, and the EU 15%. And between those four, we're generating 90 to 150 billion dollars in revenue.
And import taxes, yes, yeah.
So
this guy's trying to move on from his argument because he realizes he doesn't. So this is how he debates. He's using his notes as his baseline because once it starts deviating from his notes, he refuses to engage in the conversation. So it's not a discussion. He's trying to win points, but he's constantly failing. So he tries to go back to his notes and then reroute the argument because he makes stupid claims and then gets proven wrong, gets debunked, and then someone says, all right, we can look them up if you want to, and then he doesn't want to. I mean, it shows a lot, man.
But Mexico didn't have tariffs on us, right? We don't have reciprocal tariffs on them. We just put tariffs on them. They didn't have tariffs on us before, right?
So this, I actually said when I was making that statement, they're not really reciprocal.
Oh, okay. They're just tariffs.
I literally said, I go, he's doing reciprocal, which are not reciprocal. I said it before you interrupted. So no, they're not.
You want, we can look it up. There's none of these countries had tariffs on us. Exporting stuff to us?
Yeah, I mean, well, they've been taking advantage of us and charging us these ridiculous tariffs. All Trump
they
has
haven't
done
been charging us tariffs. That's not true. That's not
well,
where
they've had from. All Trump has done with his tariff plan is go reciprocal, and
he hasn't though. But that's just a total lie, right?
Most of it's not even reciprocal.
How does that make that doesn't make sense? Like in the UK, there are countries we have trade like surpluses with, and we still put tariffs.
Most of it is not reciprocal. So why would you say he does reciprocal? Like, what's the point of saying that statement in the first place? I just don't get the line of logic, but I'll allow him.
To our country would hopefully increase production and trickle down economics would take effect.
No.
Okay, so you disagree. So tariffs aren't a good thing, even though they've brought in over $100 billion.
Why do you keep saying that just because they brought in $100 billion, they're good? Like we could just raise taxes and bring in $100 billion. Would you say that's good?
Well, raising taxes is forcing people to pay something. Donald Trump is giving people a choice. If you want to work with these countries, cool. You can pay those taxes because those countries are being taxed. Trump is taxing the people who are doing business with those countries. That is a choice that they are making.
Sure, but there's no way for a lot of these companies to even do business in the United States. Like this manufacturing doesn't even exist in the US. You have to buy from other countries.
Okay, well, speaking of manufacturing, I have one right here where...
So he's going back to his notes. He didn't want to engage with that point that was being made. He doesn't understand that a lot of these businesses needed the imported manufacturing goods from other countries. So he doesn't want to engage in that conversation. So now he's trying to pivot, right? The whole idea is that they have the choice is not a realistic claim to make, but you're trying to alleviate a lot of the blame or responsibility onto Trump and what he's doing. But okay.
That was great. I lost it. I believe with manufacturing, 1 second. Apologies. I just gave too many bullet points, and that's why I probably shouldn't. I want to say it was, yeah. So, I already said, 10,000 manufacturing jobs, $285 million investment in U.S. electrical product manufacturing. Which
for manufacturing, like we've lost manufacturing jobs steadily since Trump has been in office, right? They've just been going down.
In the first 6 months, because the jobs are manufacturing, it takes 6 months to just put the infrastructure together.
Well, no, it takes like 10 years. So
well, I'm saying it would take like if you wanted to build a plant in America, if you wanted to move your country, and I mean we already have, what was it GE I think it was GE is bringing their factories here, and there's a couple other companies are bringing their factories here, and they're going to start now building in America again. Are you saying that it's a bad thing that these companies are now they're now bringing their jobs back to America? You think it's like,
first of all, our unemployment is already low in America, so I don't know who's going to work these jobs. Number one. Number two, a lot of these companies are moving stuff here. We're doing it because of the CHIPS Act under Biden, not because of these crazy tariffs from Trump. And number three, if you really want big capex, if you want investment in the United States, you need some stable way to do it. And tariffs that are unilaterally issued from the president's office with no trade deals, no involvement from Congress is the worst way to do it. People are just waiting basically for Trump to welch on all of them, like he keeps doing over and over again. I think he just did it today again with China, or for the next president to come in and just get rid of all of them.
so you're just making another assumption.
Wait. What assumption do you think I just made? That was an unfair assumption.
You say Trump is just going to welch.
Has he not over and over again delayed the massive tariffs? Are you saying that that's not true?
So,
It's a simple yes or no question. Has he delayed putting on the big tariffs on China multiple times so far?
Yes, as a negotiation tactic. Again, so like,
wait, why'd you just say I made an unfair assumption?
No,
when he's done it multiple times.
Yeah, but you're calling it welching as opposed to what I think a lot of people on my side.
Oh, that hurt your feelings. That hurt your feelings, buddy.
It's a negotiation tactic.
I understand you guys acknowledge that and think that, but it's with no foundation. Trump has negotiated nothing in his 5 years as being president of the United States, right?
Trump is known as the great negotiator. Every single person. So all of these
what is one thing that Trump negotiated for America in the 5 years he spent as president? A single good deal.
I'm gonna need a new headlight, right? Yeah. You got any ideas? Carparts.com always delivers, and they carry quality.
Well, he negotiated a bunch of hostage releases. That actually helped.
He said he would get all of them. They still have some there, so he hasn't even gotten all the hostages from us.
If Trump isn't perfect, then failure.
It's not about perfect. You said he was the great negotiator. I'm saying in 5 years, what has Trump negotiated?
You hold Trump to the standard of perfection, right? Where if like he can't say hyperbole, he can't say anything that can be even misinterpreted.
He needs to be honest. He needs to not lie.
I mean, like, again, see, lying and hyperbole. It's like you're basically saying that he has to
be truthful. Yes.
Every single time he speaks, if you can contextualize it in a negative way, you will. Right. So
I'm just asking what deals Trump has negotiated for America. If he's such a great negotiator,
this is actually an important point because this is the method of thinking on your side.
Yeah.
Right. When Trump says, "I'm going to end the war on day one," his supporters do not think that he is going to end the war on day one because we have common sense and deductive reasoning.
Okay.
And we go,
nobody said that before he came into office.
He's being hyperbolic. Obviously, there is no way within 24 hours of moving into the White House he's going to end the war in Ukraine.
I mean, he literally was taking credit for ending the Israeli-Gaza war because of Witkoff going and talking to them prior to him stepping into office. He said he ended it before day zero, and that ceasefire fell apart. So, but maybe he was just being hyperbolic on all of these things, or you just don't know about any of it because you're only watching conservative news.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, right now we know we have common sense. We know that Trump said yes. He said, "I'm going to end it on day one." I think that most of us thought and still think he meant he's going to start the negotiations and get to the process of ending it, right?
Okay. But he hasn't started negotiations on any of these things, right? He's not any closer.
He literally just met with Putin. He said that he was gonna
for like the 10th time. Are we any closer to figuring anything out there?
How many times did Biden meet with Putin?
Not at all, because he's smart enough to know that Putin isn't somebody to be negotiated with on the.
So Biden didn't negotiate at all. That's your boy. He didn't negotiate at all, and you think that's a good?
Did he not negotiate? I feel like he negotiated at least once. Let me verify this information. I could be wrong.
And you think it's a bad thing that Trump is negotiating too much?
Trump hasn't negotiated at all. He's being a weak man. He's being a weak man.
What do you mean?
As in, he keeps going there, making these public capitulations, and he blows up on Truth Social the day later when Putin starts bombing Ukraine again. It makes him look like a loser.
Yeah, Putin's a cunt. But I mean,
no, Trump is a loser. Everybody knows that Putin is a cunt, but Trump is being a little boy. He's being a loser. He's being dog walked by Putin over and over again, right?
So Biden wasn't dog walked by Putin.
Absolutely not. Putin hated Biden because Biden was a huge thorn in his side because he got the whole world to support Ukraine initially in the fight against Russia.
So Putin's been continuously killing thousands of people every week, and that's dog walking Biden. Biden didn't even try to negotiate at all. Just
because Biden knew that what you can't negotiate.
All right, so I was right. Apparently, they've met once. Let me bring this up in a second. So Putin and Joe Biden met only once while holding the presidency in Geneva in June 2021. So they did meet once. I was like, I had a feeling that they met at least once. So I was correct. Oh, freak. Oh, freak a leak. Oh my goodness, the blocking from my team is so garbage.
Negotiate against Russia like that.
Just
to bring them to the table by
you throw $250 billion at their adversary, which does absolutely fucking nothing to end the war. The war's still going on.
You don't think it helped them at all? You think that Ukraine would be in the same position now if they had no support or funding from the United States or the rest of Europe?
I'm saying that if you negotiate before
no, you said that it didn't help at all. Did it help or did it not help?
Well, the war is still going on, so it didn't help.
If the war had ended a year ago with Russia winning completely, would that be preferential? And that would be preferential to the state of affairs now?
No, but the war would be over, correct? What
yeah,
I'm
but
saying
but the war
I
ending
didn't-
isn't necessarily.
Okay. So there we go. He would have been okay if Russia took over Ukraine. I think that he made it pretty clear. But the war would have been over, right? If Russia won and there's no war. Like, I don't give a fuck about the Ukrainians. This is all just virtual signaling to make Donald Trump look good. I don't actually give a fuck about the Ukrainian lives and the fact that they're getting taken over by Russia. That doesn't mean it matter to me. It's the fact that there's a war going on, so I can use as a mean to blame Biden, and then when it's over, I can give credit to Trump because he jizzes in my mouth all the fucking time. Gotcha, understood.
Good thing if it ends with Russia winning completely.
Biden's solution to ending the war was throwing money at one side. And
yeah, it was allowing Ukraine to fight against
Yes.
Russia because you don't want Russia to invade countries and steal their territory. Yes.
So our tax dollars, right,
Mhm,
which were continuously sent over without our permission, right, to a war in another country, was not negotiated on at all. So first step,
It was literally part of congressional legislation. What are you talking about? We had to do this border bill and hold it up for all this other stuff to yeah, so it was voted on by Congress. I don't know what you mean by that.
Congress. What I'm saying, I mean, I didn't. That's not what I didn't vote for Congress to send my money to another
Welcome
country.
to a representative democracy. You have members in Congress that vote for things. Yeah,
I understand, and I didn't bitch about it too hard, right? I mean, maybe a little bit, but what I'm saying is,
You're bitching about it now. So why the fuck are you using it as a debate point? Oh my god, these people are fucking annoying, bro.
If your first step to ending a war is throwing my money at it before you even try to negotiate, you're fucking up, and that's not
what. How could you? What would you have negotiated with Putin after
he invaded? Exactly. What are you going to negotiate? He's already invading Ukraine. Where's the negotiation? Fucking moron.
Invades.
Oh my god, you just said Trump is negotiating with Putin. Right?
No, he's not. He has nothing to negotiate. He goes in his meetings when he gets nothing done, and then he comes back and he truths out some stuff because he's mad because Putin keeps bombing them.
So that's diplomacy. Trump is doing diplomacy.
Diplomacy is when you talk to the enemy and get nothing done, and he keeps doing the exact same thing he was doing before, and then you get mad at him.
How do you know he's getting nothing done? How do you know each of these meetings aren't getting us one step closer to ending the war and stopping 7,000 civilians,
because Putin is not
human beings from dying every week?
Because if it was getting something done, Trump wouldn't be raging out on social media after Putin keeps bombing things afterwards. Nothing's happening. We just look at the map.
Once again, you think if Donald Trump is going to a meeting and he doesn't on the first try get Putin to say, okay, you win, then that's not a negotiation.
No, they've been talking for fucking months. Oh my god, this fucking yeah.
How about the 5th try or the 10th try? How many tries does he get?
Well, he's only, like I said, he's only been in office 6 months, and you just said that's not even 3 years is not a long time.
True, but Trump said he would end it on day 1, so I just didn't know what he meant by that.
Again, you can keep going. You can keep going back.
I know it's really hard when you quote what the president himself says. It makes it really hard to defend him. I understand.
I've already explained it to you like a fucking child, and you keep doing it. It's like
how many Republicans? I'm curious. If we were to bet $50, how many Republicans in the media were saying Trump was being hyperbolic right now before Trump got into office? How many people were saying he's being hyperbolic?
This is what I said.
Zero. The answer is zero.
This is what I said in my opening statement. You were going to revert to talking points because you.
I'm not giving you talking points.
Donald Trump said he would end it on day 1. Donald Trump said he would end it on day 1.
That's me quoting the president of the United States. You think that's a talking point?
Yeah. No actual critical thinker that's watching this debate is thinking that you're arguing in good faith on that. They think that you are weaponizing.
This doesn't run without.
No. The point is, they used that quote of him ending it at day 1 as a means to get him elected. The fact that at any point, the moment you use this as a means to get yourself elected, then yes, I can use this as a means to criticize what you actually did while you're president of the United States. The whole hyperbole thing is fucking bullshit.
Are doing.
So when Scott Adams, huge Trump supporter, was saying this online, that Trump could end the war in 24 hours, that he was being hyperbolic, that he didn't think that actually happened. When Jack Posobiec, who I think is like working now in government positions, when he's saying, quote, I will work with Ukraine and Russia to end the war in 24 hours, as the Bible says, blessed are the peace. Do you think he was being hyperbolic? Or when Benny Johnson here is saying, I want everybody to stop dying, Russians, Ukrainians, and I'll have that done in 24 hours, and everyone's clapping. All these people, I can find you more tweets about all these conservative commentators were all being hyperbolic?
No, they're retarded. Benny Johnson, Benny Johnson, Jack
Posobiec,
is retarded. They are clickbait clout chasers on the right. I don't.
Who's one that wasn't retarded? Give me one that wasn't retarded. Just one conservative commentator who's not retarded.
These people are doing this for clicks. They are sensationalists.
Sure,
right?
So give me one who's not.
So they're going to take what Donald Trump said and sensationalize it, just like you're.
So MAGA's biggest supporters and the man himself say this, but then you're mad at when we use what is being said by his biggest supporters and by the man himself. Oh, I get it. You're getting fucking railroaded like a little bitch in this debate. And now, all of a sudden, you're trying to undermine things that you support. But okay, buddy. All right,
We're doing.
Well, no, they're just quoting him verbatim. They're quoting him verbatim.
No,
Now, that might be sensationalizing for you, but they're just quoting him verbatim.
You are both doing the same thing. You are taking hyperbole, putting it into literal terms, and sensationalizing it to paint your own narrative, like for your own reasons.
Sure.
Right?
And my narrative is just like Donald Trump's own words.
Oh my God.
All right,
Wait.
we're gonna just argue for another
I just want to know
minute,
what's
and then I
one
wanna get
conservative
back
that we
to
trust? What's one conservative that was saying beforehand? Well, he's just being hyperbolic. What's a single conservative that they were saying that? Anybody in the news on the conservative side we trust? Or
Do you think I have a database of everything everybody said in like throughout time in here? I don't know.
well, apparently
Oh,
you
no,
know that Benny Johnson and Jack Posobiec are all like clowns. I'm just curious which one conservative commentator that you trust.
They are.
Sure, who's one you trust?
There's conservative commentators. Dan Bongino does a great job of covering things pretty fairly, and I don't think that he ever said Donald Trump would end the war in 24 hours. But if he did, then he was wrong.
Okay.
So
all right, let's redirect because we've spent a lot of time arguing about whether hyperbole or how seriously you should take Trump. I do think it's very important that we cover ICE and everything related to immigration. But
I was actually
But first, let's make sure that we've covered everything economically. I want to give you guys both a chance to make any more economic arguments that you have.
Okay, so again, my argument is that the addition of 671,000 jobs, the 3% GDP growth, and I know you guys are saying 2.7, but I believe the number in July, which was just like last week, was 2.1. But I'll concede the 2.7, right? I think that those are successes. And I think anyone who says that they are not successes is being intellectually dishonest because it is a massive number of job creation in 6 months. And I believe that those numbers, the other two numbers, are going in the right directions.
Weren't the job creation thing so bad that Donald Trump had to fire the labor secretary for the Bureau of Labor Statistics?
The Bureau of Labor's
Yes.
because they were inflating the numbers or something like that?
Because when the numbers got revised downwards, Donald Trump accused them of cooking the books, and so he fired his.
They revised, because the revisions that they kept on doing were inaccurate. So yeah, if you
how could he possibly know they were inaccurate?
I don't know. He fired them for not doing their job. Like if you
keep more comment that he just fired.
Oh my God, this guy's a little cock, man. Oh my God, this is so pathetic. This is so pathetic, bro. He really said, "Oh, well, the only reason why she got fired is because she got it wrong because my daddy Trump said so." So yeah, the numbers had the job creation at an all-time low, but obviously that's not true because it's Daddy Trump. Only Daddy Trump, what he says is true. Like, how can you not know that Daddy Trump is always true? Did I do a good MAGA impression?
Fired them because he just didn't like what they were saying?
Or, hear me out. I know this is a crazy concept. He fired them because they were putting out inaccurate numbers that they had to keep.
This is his government. How is he supposed to know? He's not trusting the people in his cabinet.
So he hires people, right? Then they don't do their job, and he fires.
How does he know they didn't do the job?
Because they had to keep revising them. What are we talking about?
Numbers are revised all the time. That's how it works.
Yeah, but he doesn't want that. He wants it to be more accurate.
That's not how it works. That's not how you collect these numbers.
Well, under the Biden administration, the numbers always had to be revised in the direction that was making them.
Numbers are revised up and down all the time. Yeah, it happens.
Okay. Can we?
I'm just asking, how can he possibly know if the numbers are right or wrong if he's not trusting his own data people?
We're going to be here all night if we spend 30 minutes on one topic. So.
Well, I do want to cover economics because it's really important. So let's let this play out a little bit longer.
Okay.
I'm just curious, how can Donald Trump, if he doesn't trust his own government to tell him the right numbers, how could he possibly know what the right numbers are?
I believe the reasons that Trump gave for firing the head of the Labor Bureau of Statistics.
What did my daddy say?
The numbers that they were putting out were factually inaccurate.
Yeah, but I'm asking, how can he know they were factually inaccurate?
You would have to ask him.
Okay, that's okay. All right.
What do you mean? Like
he has a guy. This is my job numbers guy, and then the job numbers guy gives him job numbers. He goes, "I don't think those are real," and he fires him. I'm asking you, how can he know what the job numbers are if he fires his job numbers guy?
Is there like another source maybe where he's
no? There's not. He fired him because he wasn't happy with it. He just wanted him to be hired. That's it. That's the obvious answer. It's so obvious. And that's why this guy's twisting himself into a pretzel to try to figure out.
Okay, so he fires people when he thinks they're not doing their job, right?
He fires people when he's not getting the answer that he wants from them.
Fine, fair. That's your opinion, but okay, that's his right. He's the fucking president.
Wix gives you the power of AI to build the website you need with full business functionality and a design team.
I don't care.
That's fine, but then be honest about it. You fired him because he didn't like.
I didn't
think they're wrong.
I didn't elect the chair of the fucking labor statistics. I elected Donald Trump. If Donald Trump wants to hire a cabinet member and fire a cabinet member every week for the next 4 years, I'm okay with it as long as in total the country is doing well.
Sure, you shouldn't be okay with that because that shows a massive inability to lead. If you're having to fire and rehire for the same position every week, it shows you're a failure of a leader.
You know how many?
How did you score that touchdown?
Yes.
Okay. How many people have you fired?
I don't know. I don't know. 10, 20. Depends on what has the fire or not.
I fired in about 10 years, right? I fired probably 60 or 70 people, right? So, because I get these guys, I work construction, right? I get a guy, he goes,
shut the fuck up. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck of what you did in your job. This level of filibustering to protect your daddy Trump is fucking wild. Oh, well, this is why you fire people. No shit. We know why you fire people. Shut the fuck up, bro.
Chat leak from Hegseth, that was an embarrassment. You had a second signal chat leak that was insane. Bungie News. You had ridiculously high standards.
Why people think that's a bad thing? I want my president to have ridiculously high standards.
If you had ridiculously high standards, you wouldn't hire incompetent people in the first place. You had to fire.
Biden hired incompetent people that he
We're not talking about Biden right now. We're talking about Trump right now. If you're hiring and firing people constantly and you want to talk about competence, it seems like half the people's hiring are from Fox News. You had the massive signal chat leak from Hegseth. That was an embarrassment. You had a second signal chat leak that was insane. Bongino said you were getting Epstein files. Bondi gave the whole Epstein files part 1 and nothing came from that. Like, what do you mean? These are not the most competent people ever. This is insane.
So did Pete Hegseth leak the chat?
No, but he was part of it. It was his department.
But Pete Hegseth didn't leak the chat.
No, it was somebody underneath him.
So
he invited, he put someone in the chat that should not be in the chat. Or no, it was either him or someone else. Regardless, that shit was leaked because they didn't vet the people inside of it. And they had the whole conversation on a fucking signal chat.
Does that make Pete Hegseth incompetent?
You said you have a business, right?
Yeah.
If somebody on a construction site fucks up hardcore, do you talk to the guy individually or do you talk to the supervisor?
Yeah, the staffer who leaked the chat was immediately fired and then his superior resigned. So they're gone. So
do you think the fact that Pete Hegseth was in signal chats?
He was in a chat.
He was in signal chats. Yeah, you're not supposed to be conducting government business there.
I think they did. They said that there was no impropriety that to have the signal.
You think talking about an upcoming attack on Yemen that was like scheduled for 12 hours from now, you don't think that was an improper thing to be having in an unsecured chat?
I mean, it was signal. It was. I probably wouldn't, but
I'm not asking what you would do. I'm saying is this not improper? You can't even admit to this. It's crazy.
No, they already. If they're in a signal chat and they're sharing information, which a signal is encrypted, I believe.
So it doesn't matter. Obviously, bad people can get in there, as we saw.
And well, bad people didn't get in there.
They literally did.
Quick rant. I'm playing Madden 26, and it's hard to do both because Madden 26 is way more like you got to really pay attention a lot more in the gameplay and be a little bit more deliberate compared to Madden 25. Everybody I'm playing fucking uses OP teams. It's so fucking annoying. I'm using the Giants, but Jesus Christ. Like, oh man, I wish I could. If I locked in, I'll be beating little Madden rant. You feel me? Come on.
The head author of the Atlantic was in that chat.
Yeah, the staffer let the author in, so it wasn't like it was hacked. They literally opened the door.
Yeah, but part of the reason. I mean, this is what we know of right now. Who knows who's gotten into other signal chats? We have no idea, right? This is just the one where you happen to invite the head editor of the Atlantic or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably shouldn't be doing. That's probably a bad thing, right? They're conducting official government business in signal chats. Probably not good, right? Can we admit at least that that's not good?
Again,
no,
doing exactly what I said.
I know. Bringing up facts is like really detrimental to your worldview.
You just pivot when you can't make an argument. Like I said, we have the job numbers, we have GDP, we have inflation, all go down.
He didn't pivot. He went based off what you said. You try to cape for Donald Trump, saying that he only fired her because she was incompetent and that he only hires competent people. So Destiny debunked that claim. The initial claim was fucking stupid in the first place, but the second claim was also dumb because he's hired so many incompetent, unqualified people. But
you pivot to signal chat because you can't make your arguments based off of what we're actually talking
let's go back to the job.
So just to be clear, I wasn't pivoting at all. I was just bringing up the fact that you can't hire and fire people constantly to show competency over the job. And you pointed out the job numbers. I said he fired the job numbers person, and then you challenged me saying it's okay to fire people constantly for their competency. And I'm saying, well, here's an example of being incompetent, like Pete Hegseth, who was part of a signal chat that he should have been a part of, and he didn't get fired. So clearly that's not the case.
Wait, let me go back to
whether he likes what they're telling him.
Let me go back to the jobs number for a second, right? So if the jobs person, the dude that got fired, assuming that he's telling the truth, then I think it was 250K jobs gained in December and only 73K jobs gained in July, which is still positive job growth, but it has declined a lot. If those numbers are accurate, what would be your response to that, Misfit?
If the numbers did come out accurately?
Yeah, assuming what the jobs guy said is true, then what would be your response to that?
I don't understand the question. I'm sorry.
So in December there was 250K new jobs, right? In July there was about 70K new jobs, right? So the number of job growth has significantly gone down, right? Still positive, but it went down. So assuming that those numbers are accurate, what would be your retort to that?
Well, weren't the numbers making Trump look good as they were estimated, and then they were revised down, which would make him look bad, right?
I'm just talking about the final numbers.
Yeah, Trump I think that's the reason Trump gave, He goes, I don't want you to pump up my numbers and inflate them and make me look good. Right. I want you to be more accurate. And again, I don't know this for a fact. I think based off of his track record of hiring and firing many people through both administrations, I think that he has a high standard, and that's a good enough reason for me to fire somebody.
It wasn't easy being a meathead.
So many ads. I might need to get YouTube Premium, bro. It's so frustrating. Skip. Jesus.
So I just don't understand why we like, again, doing exactly what I said you do. Pivot. Just talk about what I'm actually talking about. Are the numbers that are accurate?
The job numbers are bad right now.
The job numbers
are bad.
Adding
Yes.
671.
That's not what the job numbers are. They were revised and they're bad. That's why he fired the lady. They're bad.
Oh my God. These are the updated numbers. The jobs that have been created are 671,000 jobs since January. Those are before
the revised numbers, no?
No, the revised numbers were higher, I believe.
So you're saying the last jobs report didn't undershoot where they were expecting them to be?
I don't believe so, unless I'm reading this wrong, but this is from whitehouse.gov, and it's also from...
You're reading Trump's own assessment of his own jobs numbers? He's saying they're good? No way.
And NBC News. Here.
So when we look at
560,000
job numbers
I
like
think it's
that,
undershooting what he wanted them to be. They're not like, I think it averages out to like less than 100,000 a month, which is less than what he's looking for.
Okay. So the jobs that have been created, not a success. Got it. What would be good? What would be a good, accurate, like, what would you consider a success under these?
Well, I mean, like the fact that all of the growth is happening in healthcare and crypto or whatever seems to be a little bit spooky.
Okay, don't pivot. What do you just answer the question? What number do you think would be?
It's not just about a number. It's also the sectors where the job growth happens.
Okay. What? No. So
like an average upward trend in job growth, like widely and robustly across the economy, would probably be good. Seeing a whole bunch of job growth concentrated in like a singular area, I think it was overrepresented, I think, in healthcare, is a little bit scary.
So the majority of the jobs numbers under Biden, and this isn't whataboutism, were government jobs, right? The majority of the new jobs under Trump's first 6 months are private sector jobs, right?
I don't think that's true. I'm pretty sure our amount of government jobs has stayed pretty steady for the past like 30 years.
I think it's more than half our private sector, I want to say. But assuming that's true, that would be a good thing, right? That would be more everyday average people instead of just more government jobs.
I don't even know if government jobs are necessarily bad. I mean, it depends on what job you're talking about.
I mean, well, your side wants more government, my side wants less. So I think that would actually be accurate. You would think that's good.
No, you don't.
Government jobs are bad jobs?
I think we should have smaller government. That's
not an answer. So we should fire everyone in the DoD.
I didn't say that, but if you let me finish, I think we should have a government so fucking small that we don't even know it exists, right? Our government should be like state and federal government jobs, right? We should not even have thousands a month. We should have tens, because that's how small I want my government, my federal government.
What? You want the federal government to have tens of people working there? What the fuck? These people are so fucking stupid, bro. Why would you want the most powerful entity in the world to have only 10 people, tens of people, which is like max 99 people working there? What? Nah, bro. Nah, these people are just fucking so dumb.
And that's just me. That's just my opinion. A lot of people agree with me. I want limited government.
A lot of so stupid opinions.
It barely makes a difference on my life. The federal government should have one job, and that should be protecting our borders, right, and just making sure that we're safe.
So then, how bad do you feel that Donald Trump massively has failed in cutting the debt and the deficit? That the Big Beautiful Bill just added more and more to the debt and deficit.
The Big Beautiful Bill is not perfect. I've criticized it. I didn't
say it's not perfect. He failed massively in curbing the debt and the deficit, right? You agree with that? They failed there.
Yeah, it's estimated that that's not going to, but there is also the hopefully, and I know that that's crazy. If we bring in more jobs, more manufacturing, and create a booming economy through energy independence and all of Trump's other policies, it will offset the debt that he didn't come down on.
What is this cope? I haven't heard this cope before. This new cope that I don't want to get into it.
I'm not happy about it, so we're going to agree there. So you don't have.
Well,
to,
we don't agree though. You're saying you're not happy about it. I'm saying it's a massive failure. So a complete total epic failure.
I don't think it's massive. I think that what you do, and obviously you will. It's not. I'm not really knocking you for this. It's your political biases. You hyperfixate.
I'm not hyperfixating. Doge said they would cut $2 trillion. It ended up being $9 billion. I don't know in what world that's not a massive
Doge
failure.
was a massive failure, and I mean, so Doge, yes, correct.
You're only
I was
saying that
excited
because
about
Elon
Doge,
Musk
and
betrayed Donald Trump.
it fell short, right?
Okay.
So
And Donald Trump said that he would cut the debt and cut the deficit.
And where's
failed on that.
Amazing means spending more time together. Put that on the highlight reel. Amazing hits the road with a full tank of gas and snacks. Like a lot of snacks.
Yo, these ads, bro.
Where's Elon now? Right? Like, so it's not like Trump is still saying like, yeah, Doge is awesome. He barely mentions it. You're not.
It's kind of embarrassing, given that he hyped up Doge so much and hired Elon to be his personal little puppet in the White House. Like, doesn't that bode poorly for Donald Trump's skills in hiring good people?
Well, I think it's rich, considering that a lot of people on your side. I'm not sure if you were also saying this. You were like that Elon is the real president and Elon is controlling Donald Trump, and now you're saying that Donald Trump got rid of Elon, kind of proving yourselves wrong. I think Trump hyped up Doge the same way because I think Elon hyped him up. And I think that Elon sold it to Trump. Trump sold it to America. And that Elon is the one who fell short. And now Trump got rid of Elon. It's Elon was
so in the strawman version of me, I'm saying that Elon is controlling Trump. I've never said that, I don't think. But in your world, Elon was actually controlling Trump. Elon actually misled Trump on what Doge could do, and then Trump hired him as a result of that.
I think hyping someone up and controlling them are two completely different things.
That's literally, it's called manipulating through flattery. That's literally what that is.
Yeah, I wouldn't say. Sure, Elon manipulated Trump, but I again don't think that that's the same thing as controlling. I think that Trump's juggling a lot of plays. I mean, every president does, except for Biden. I think he only juggled naps. But I think that
Biden was more successful in every single conceivable metric than Donald Trump has so far.
Yeah.
We'll continue to
you mean the auto pen was more successful?
Have you ever seen a video of Biden having an executive order brought to him to sign that he doesn't know what it is? Whereas on every single one that Trump has signed, people are bringing it to him and explaining what the EO is. Have you ever seen that happen with Biden?
How many days did Biden take vacations out of his whole presidency? Was it 40-something%?
You think that Biden has taken more vacation days than Donald Trump has?
Absolutely. I will guarantee you that's true. Look it up right now.
I'll look it up. But then back to the question: have you ever seen? You've seen people bring executive orders to Trump and then explain them to Trump, right? You've seen that, right?
Yeah. Well, he does that live.
Don't you think that's kind of weird that he's not writing them and that he's the one who's getting them brought to him and explained by other people? Isn't that kind of weird?
No, I think you're being a little sassy right now, but you know how it works. Trump hires people to write the executive orders. They summarize them to him. He reviews them and hopefully reads the majority of them.
If you had proof that Biden was hiring people to write executive orders for him, don't you think that would be scandalous in and of itself?
Let me finish.
Okay.
I think that Trump reviews the executive orders. He puts together a collaboration, a team, right? His administration, and he then signs them, in which he signed them like live on TV. I think Trump has signed almost every executive order, most of them.
As they're explained to him by other people.
But they're explained to him based off of his agenda that he put together with his cabinet. He delegated.
I mean, you think that?
Yeah,
but
but hold on. But what I'm saying is, I don't think Biden put together anything.
That's great. But you have no proof of that. You can't prove any of that, right?
Other than the fact that he was pretty much asleep the whole time. No.
I mean, you can say that, but you can't prove that either. So I linked the thing on. You can look at for known totals of vacation days.
You're giving me Wikipedia?
Is there a different source you would prefer?
Yeah, hold on.
I looked it up on ChatGPT.
It says for Donald Trump's first term, he took
what did ChatGPT
378 vacation days, and Joe Biden took 183 to 184. So Trump took about twice as many vacation days as Biden did.
Hold on. There's 1,460 days in administration. So you just said 184. That's bullshit. What does ChatGPT say?
Yeah. So the Republican National Congress claimed that Biden took 577 days. However, Snopes investigated and they found that he took somewhere between 183 and 184 vacation days, which accounts to about 12.5% of his term. During Donald Trump's first term, he took 380 days, which accounts to about 26%.
Right. Biden. All right. So the Republican National Committee and
Damn. Now, I saw that clip already, so I already knew this was coming up, but like, how does it feel just being wrong? I mean, he's constantly wrong, but just being wrong, so wrong. Let's see how he tries to get out of this little grift. Maybe we might see some cream coming out of his nose.
Reported by other various sources, and
they were reporting what the RNC was saying.
Hold on. Biden spent 577 days out of his 163 day term, so that's 39%. Okay. Now I don't know what Snopes did on their fact checking.
They do like. Are you familiar with Snopes?
Yeah,
they probably think it's liberal propaganda.
Yeah,
But the RNC, the Republican National Committee, or whatever, that's not Republican propaganda, but Snopes is liberal propaganda.
Well, what is so? What are the findings? What is the evidence that the Republicans gave? Like, I'm sure that the way they do their tallies is they say, okay, Biden took a vacation day, this, and this day, and you add them all up to 577. You think there's a 577 to 183 disparity between the two sides. So even if it's somewhere in the middle, Biden took a fuck ton of vacation days.
You deserve healthy feet.
Oh man, these fucking cultists, man, they are so tiring. So a neutral source doesn't mean anything, but the Republican source that has been fact-checked to hell and constantly lies. Now they're correct, though.
National Committee that former U.S. President Joe Biden spent 40% of his presidency on vacation stretched the truth. The RNC treated partial days outside the White House as full days on vacation, made outright errors in its calculations, and included locations that are not always used as vacation settings in its analysis.
So you'd do the same thing for Trump. A partial day outside of the White House would probably be attributed to a vacation day for Trump too. So I think that they use the same metrics as you would for Trump.
Yeah, but when they use the same metrics for both, Trump took twice as many vacation days as Joe Biden.
No, you're taking the good number from one. Let's not do this.
This was you wanted to go here, and now we're here. You don't like
this this guy's. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, the MAGA morons, man. The MAGA morons.
Facts. I know you hate
them.
Facts are like
no. If that's your argument, I know if we spend more time on this, I will win. But I'm just saying, do we want to spend more time on this?
I do. Yeah. Sure.
Okay. All right. Fine.
Let's do like 5 minutes on this, and then let's go to ICE.
Okay. Let's go to the Republican National Committee and see what they said. So you said
the Republican sources
partial days outside. So he did take 577 vacation days. But you're saying some of them weren't real vacation days.
No, I'm saying that it sounds like they treated any time he was traveling anywhere, like to another country to meet with foreign leaders or whatever. It sounds like they were treating those as vacation days.
Yeah, and that's like I said, that's the same exact thing.
No, the majority of Trump's were just spent at his golfing properties. Like if anybody
where
watches
he was working.
I don't believe he was working at his in the first term. No.
So you think that Biden can work when he's outside of the White House, but Trump never worked when he was outside of the White House. Again, you applied two different standards. You apply two different standards to two different presidents.
There's a significant.
He gave you the statistic that applied the same standard to both, and then gave you the number for that statistic. It's just you don't like it, so you're whining like a little bitch. You're crying. You're saying, "When, no way! I can't make my daddy Trump look bad." That's what's going on right now.
Between traveling to another country to go to their embassy or to go to a thing to give a speech versus Donald Trump going to a golfing property and just golfing. Yes.
But he wasn't just golfing. Trump was on the phone negotiating. Trump is like, golf only takes like 3-4 hours.
Well, that probably depends on how much you play or how many holes or rounds or whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah. So Trump would golf for a few hours and he's the fucking president. So I'm assuming that when he's at his golf course, he's got his staffers with him and they're coming up to him going like, "Hey, Mr. President, this thing just happened." So again, he's literally working, but he's also golfing.
Okay, show me that.
This has already been reported on. He's I'm
not saying this anywhere. Where's it been reported on?
He's working while he's golfing.
That there was I think that he just called. Oh shit! Was it what was the conflict? He just called the president.
I'm convinced MAGA morons like this would try to justify Donald Trump sleeping with their wives. Like I am genuinely convinced. I'm genuinely convinced.
And I think it was
India, Pakistan?
No, it wasn't India, Pakistan. It was the one that just happened. It was like a 9-day war where like 30 something people died. And he called the world leader from the golf course, and he said, if you don't cut the shit, like I'm gonna get upset. And this is just reported like 2 weeks ago. Trump called the world leader to negotiate the end to a conflict from the golf course. So like this is a very recent event.
Like you understand, like your claim is unfalsifiable, right? You're giving me an example of one phone call that he made. How can I even debate this? Every like factual source we can find shows that you're wrong. But you're saying well, what about the phone calls that he's making that we can't prove or verify or anything? Like, give me some metric or some analysis or somebody that's done something.
Well, you said Trump is only golfing. I just gave you a real time, a very recent example of him working while golfing. Which is
maybe not all of his golf things are. Maybe he does work in some of his golf things. I don't think he works on the majority of them though.
Okay, so you lied.
Lied about what?
You lied and you said all of it. You see what you said he only golfs, and now I said
the majority. First of all, the majority of his vacation days aren't even. It's not all golfing, right? I think that they count like 180 days golfing. His total vacation days were like 378 vacation days.
Well, just a few minutes ago, you said Trump's vacation days he's just golfing, and then a few minutes later you go,
"This guy's getting fucking railroaded so bad." he wants to get this W of semantics of Destiny potentially using the term always, even though the majority, even though he was wrong about the number of vacation days, the substantive point was he thinks Joe Biden was vacationing more than Donald Trump. He gets debunked regarding that, but he needs the W so bad, so he wants to argue about the term always, even though the majority of the time he's just fucking golfing and relaxing. Now, this is W brain.
Fine.
Okay, show me an analysis then. Show me an analysis of total vacation days.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you're applying the metric,
show me that.
If you're applying the metric to Biden taking partial vacation days, but you make the claim based off of just your assumption, just
none of these are my claims. These are Snopes going through the RNC's claims.
No. You're giving benefit of doubt to Biden, saying the vacation days where he wasn't in the White House and when he was traveling, where he wasn't actually working in the White House, they counted those as vacation days. And I said they did the same thing to Trump, but Trump was working on those days. So I'm saying they applied the same metric to measure vacation days for both presidents, and that's how they got the number 577. That's how you get, if you use the same metric for both, you get the big number for both. Why is this?
You're saying that. I understand you're saying that, but you haven't done this analysis yourself. You're just baselessly asserting it.
You're only basing it off of Snopes, which has had to.
That is a fact-checking. That's a fact-checking org. Yeah, that's what I'm basing it off of. Do you think that you individually are more reliable than Snopes?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, can you give me some article? You're not going to trust Washington Post either, I guess. And what's a news source that I could link that you would trust?
Snopes retract 54 stories and suspended fact-checking sites co-founder over plagiarism accusations. That is 2021.
Who are you reading this from? Who are you sourcing this from?
This is from BuzzFeed News.
Do you trust BuzzFeed News? If I was to link you a BuzzFeed News post, would you trust that? Or are you only trusting BuzzFeed News right now because they're saying that Snopes might have had to retract some stories?
How about the AP? Is the AP good enough?
Performing on the biggest stage in the world was just one step in my journey.
The problem with this line of argument is why these people are so fucking nasty. They're just nasty human beings. The problem with this argument is that it doesn't matter what the source is. He's gonna try to undermine the source regardless. That's why Destiny keeps on saying, "What source do you want me to use?" And I'll find the source. He doesn't care about the source. He just wants to undermine it because he does not want to engage with the conversation. He doesn't trust AP News. He doesn't trust BuzzFeed because they can make the same claim and then he will try to undermine them as well. It's just a loop of just nasty work by MAGA Moron.
I'm guessing you probably wouldn't most of the time.
Prominent fact. This is from the AP. Prominent fact checker Snopes apologizes for plagiarism. Right.
So does that mean they're wrong on every single thing they've posted?
New York Post, Snopes co-founder banned for plagiarizing, right? So I'm saying, and then there's, this is tweaked.
Wait, I just want to be clear. So if they have been caught plagiarizing a story, or if they've retracted 51 or whatever stories, that means we don't trust anything they publish? Then who do we trust on this issue then?
So you're saying that a publication that has to retract 60 stories should be trusted?
That's why he's not answering the question, because he's a fucking moron. He doesn't want to engage in the conversation. He wants to keep on saying his thing because he knows if he engages, he's gonna look stupid. This is not a conversation. This was never a conversation. It was trying to make himself look good. He's getting railroaded, so he's playing stupid semantic games. That's what's going on right now.
Out of how many stories did they publish?
Well, what do you mean? I'm saying,
hold on, wait. If they'd only published 100 stories and they retracted 61, do you agree that that's a lot worse than if they published 1,000 stories and retracted 61, 10,000 stories, right? So isn't that kind of important to know?
I think it's also important to know the co-founder had to make a public apology for plagiarism. That's a big one.
Plagiarism doesn't necessarily mean that they are lying about anything else. That's not really relevant to what we're talking about, right?
The person who founded this site is a plagiarist, right? That goes.
Okay, and Fox News settled the largest defamation lawsuit of all corporate history, propagating a lie that Donald Trump himself and his campaign was propagating for the 2020 election around the Dominion election machines. If you want to play who's the bigger liar, the Republican side loses 100%.
Here's why your whataboutism bullshit tactic won't work. Fox News is fake news, so I am not going to.
They were propagating stories from Trump and his campaign.
Fox News lies. You were
about Trump. It was Trump's lies, though. The Dominion lawsuit was Trump's lies.
This isn't a gotcha. No, it's Fox News' lies.
Wait, so Trump and Sidney Powell and Giuliani weren't all saying the Dominion Venezuelan voting machines weren't rigging the election? That didn't originate with Trump and his campaign?
They offered their opinion. Fox News reported on it and took it too far and made.
No, they just copied what they.
Yo, I hate this guy. This guy is like a terrible human being. Genuinely, just terrible. Just terrible.
Trump literally calls into Fox News he
goes Yeah, Fox News lied. They reported on the opinion of Donald Trump. It's not Donald Trump's fault. It's just his opinion. But the fact that Fox News reported on Donald Trump's opinion, how dare they? They're the scum of the earth. Not my daddy Trump. Not my Lord and Savior Trump. Not my savant Messiah Trump. Trump can't do anything wrong. Let's be honest. He's fucking God incarnate. Do you see his fat flabs? Do you see his orange skin? Do you see his cheating scandals? Do you see when he talks about fucking his daughter? He can't do anything wrong. These are all perfection. He's a perfect being. I think that's what a MAGA mind sounds like.
Every other day, Trump's daughter-in-law works at Fox News now. This is a lying organization?
Fox News made their own assertions, which is why they were sued.
They didn't. They just copied it from Trump's campaign. But I just want to be clear. So Jean Pirro or whatever, she's like the DC prosecutor now. She's from Fox News. Hegseth, the head of our DOD, he's from Fox News. Donald Trump's daughter-in-law, she now works at Fox News. Donald Trump himself calls into Fox News. All of these Fox News hosts that are having like positions in the government now, this is a horrible organization. Donald Trump is hiring from it and working with it. And you're trusting Donald Trump's judgment here?
No, I said that Fox News lies. Like they have lied. It's mainstream media. The CNN.
Bitch, are you listening? Are you listening, bitch? He's saying that Donald Trump's rhetoric gets pushed on Fox News. So Fox News is a terrible organization that pushes lies. They're pushing the lies of Donald Trump. Bitch, he's saying that Donald Trump hires people from Fox News. So Fox News is this terrible organization that pushes lies. That means Donald Trump is hiring liars. Bitch, you can't disassociate Donald Trump and Fox News. It's fucking impossible. Stop trying. Jesus fuck. Oh my God. This weasel.
And then lies. Fox News lies. MSNBC lies.
So who do you trust?
None of them. Dude,
so how do you get information about anything?
I have to literally look at a bunch of different sources and then come to my own conclusion. It's this wild concept where I don't just blindly
you looked up the Republican Yo. Kill me. So this guy looks up the Republican convention and gets his sources from there, and then goes like, I look up all my sources. Who cares if the Republican sources is, oh my God, how did he catch that? Who cares if the Republican sources are biased towards Republicans? Republicans are always right because they follow Daddy Trump, so it doesn't really matter.
Trust mainstream media.
Walk me through, how can you go to a bunch of different sources if all of them are lying?
So I think there was a recent poll, 70% of Americans do not trust the media. And you're surprised that I don't trust the media?
That's a fucking dog shit response. What?
I'm asking you, how do you ascertain the truthfulness of any claim if you think that all of them are lying? Why are you reading a bunch of lies help you figure out the truth if it's all lies?
Common sense, critical thinking, and deductive reasoning.
Give me an example of how you use No, this is really important. This is literally the most important thing. This is the most important thing. How can you use common sense and critical thinking to ascertain a lie from a mainstream media publication? How can you common sense your way through the lies that they tell?
Well, so they don't literally lie every single time they open their mouths, and not
oh my God, I hate this guy. I hate him. I hate him so much.
The organization has a track record of reporting lies. So I don't trust the organization. Some of the people that work there, I would say, are more credible than others, which is why.
So who do you believe in Fox that's more credible? What are some of these people?
You know what? Ironically, I'm not just saying this because Trump hired him, but I think Pete.
The people that Donald Trump hired, obviously, those are the only people. I hate this guy. This guy is evil. He's just a terrible person.
Was an honest actor. I think Will Cain is a very honest reporter. There's not many, honestly, that I really I don't even watch anymore because I got tired of how it's just the same shit over and over again. You know, when Fox News, when a white girl goes missing or a prisoner escapes, Fox News covers it for like 3 days straight. I want to hear other stories that are going on in the world, so I don't even watch it anymore. So, but I think it's funny how you're saying you do trust the media because this is a 70-30 issue in the country, and you're part of the 30.
So you're saying that I should just follow whatever the popularity and the opinion polls are?
No, I'm saying what you should do is you should look at a story that's being reported. Okay, here's what I do. I actually do. This is the whole premise of my podcast is called the Daily Breakdown. I literally take news articles from all of these sites and I go, that's probably bullshit.
Oh, so the stuff that you don't agree with, you think is bullshit. You're a piece of garbage. I'm gonna be honest.
That's probably bullshit. And that actual. Okay, we already just did this, so let's not do it again. But to summarize,
we didn't do this, though. No, we didn't do this.
We did. You just didn't like the way that I answered.
No, you just didn't do any research. You just like gave me some opinions, right? You know, I research better than you, right? Like I have more media savvy than you. I'm a better critical thinker than you. I'm a better researcher than you. I know more facts about all of these things than you do. So I don't know why you're talking to me like this is the you're enlightening me somehow. Yeah.
How do you know you're better than me?
Because I just listened to your thought process on how you pick things out here, and you have all the classic markings of somebody that falls prey to his own biases when evaluating media.
I literally just said I don't trust the media, and you said that I fall prey to my own.
You said that you don't trust the media minutes after you told me that the reason why you know the Snopes article is fake is because BuzzFeed News said something and the AP said something. Which I'm guessing are two media publications you don't trust. But you're actually displaying a perfect example of somebody who lacks media savvy, which is you are selectively critical. You believe sources when they tell you what you want to hear, and then you disbelieve them when they tell you what you don't want to hear.
No, what I said is I take all of it. Now, giving one example of a BuzzFeed in real time to just point out the claim that there is a story where the co-founder, and I looked at 3 of them in a row, where the co-founder apologizes for plagiarism.
Yo, this guy is like, he's brain dead. I don't think I can listen to this anymore. I'm curious. Must be what they think facts are negotiable. He won 22 court cases out of. Dusty wasn't even trying. This came out swinging like tights and ended up sideshow Bob stepping on. This was embarrassing. The level of mental gymnastics you have to do as MAGA would put Simone Biles to shame. Debate bro claims victory before the debate is over. 5 seconds later, Dusty will have a hard time repeating these facts. Is this dude for real? This patriot has been absolutely bludgeoned by everyone he has debated, right wingers and left wingers alike. I don't know why he keeps doing this. So he's just a fucking idiot. This guy's just an idiot. Oh my god. All right, yeah, we're done with this. This debate was painful to watch. It just was.